Book Brothers, what's going on? It's your boy, the number one book bro, back for another one. I went to go watch the Deadpool and Wolverine movie this past weekend. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I thought it was pretty good. I loved a lot of the jokes. Some of the jokes fell flat. I loved a lot of the action. Some of the action fell flat, but for the most part, I think it was a B+. I thought it was a pretty well-made Marvel movie, I'm not gonna lie. So now, where do we go from here? Marvel, where do you go from here? We got to build on this momentum. We got to get back on track. I really didn't like the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. I would have liked to see somebody like Cillian Murphy, who did the Oppenheimer movie, or someone like that, maybe. Just a fresh face. But I have confidence that Robert Downey Jr. will do his thing. I think he'll do a good job, you know, for what it's worth. So I think that that's a panic move for Marvel to hand the reins back to Robert Downey. He kind of kicked it off. If you're a big Robert Downey Jr. fan, then you're excited. I'm excited. I like Robert Downey Jr. So I would like to see more Marvel movies getting back to what made them great in the first place. Great acting, great story writing, great action, just believable characters. The production, the big, loud, the action, the stories that sort of come connected from like disjointed places, all of that made Marvel what it became when we all fell in love with it a few years ago. So I'm actually excited about Captain America Brave New World #4, starring Anthony Mackie as Captain America, even though he's the Falcon. And it's actually comic book accurate. It's not like they're doing a total bait and switch on us. I like the Captain America movie, and I like Anthony Mackie, and I like the character Falcon. I think it's a great character. But beyond that, I don't know what to say about Marvel. Marvel has sort of been on a downward spiral in the past few years with the whole MCU movement, and I think that is run its course, thankfully. So we're about to get back to making real movies, and we're about to get back to making movies with male leads, white men, and with black men, and in some cases white men with black sidekicks, and just getting back to just white men, I think. Which is, if you think about Marvel, if the characters were written by white men, 40, 50 years ago, and when you write a character in your own likeness. You're sharing your world view. You're writing about the world that you live in. And so white men wrote those stories 50 years ago. You can't show up 50 years later and then start to replace those characters and those stories with this, I don't know what to call it, with all of this diversity, which I'm all for diversity if it's done right. I'm all for, you know what I'm for Marvel? I am for Marvel to just have an accurate depiction of the material. And I don't, at all costs, just make it accurate. I think the Eternals would have done well if they had just depicted the characters the way they were depicted in the comics. But no, they had to go and screw it up. They had to bring in a deaf woman, a gay black man, an Asian woman, An Hispanic woman, it was just kind of like all over the place, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work, you know? So, let's not focus on whether it's a white man or a black man or whatever. Let's just make it comic book accurate, source material accurate. Let's just stick to the script. The script was written a long time ago. Let's just stick to that. And if here's a suggestion to you, Marvel. If you want to include diverse characters into your world, don't just bait and switch existing characters that we've all come to love. Don't take a character that was written originally to be a white male type of character and turn it into some Asian dude or some black dude or something like that. No, don't do that. If you really want to help out and be diverse and be inclusive, go buy up some of these low-level comic book companies that were started by some of these minorities or whatever. Buy some of those and just work to develop some of those stories separate from the MCU. And don't touch the source material of the MCU. Don't touch the source material of Iron Man. Nobody wants to see Riri Iron Man, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. Whatever. Nobody wants to see that. Just go buy some. There's a ton of comic books out there written by minorities that, if just given a little bit of care and a little bit of fine-tuning, those could probably turn out to be some pretty decent stories. Do that instead of trying to switch up characters in an already established world, man. That makes no sense. That's all I gotta say. Marvel, I'm counting on you guys to do the right thing. Book Bro out.